Hello there, and I'm live again. Give me just 2 seconds to make sure everything is set up correctly, and we will begin. As always, please, if you like the content, share the stream. I will try to be going live regularly, as much as I can, really. If the chat would like to change which direction I am going, just type it in chat. I will go with the majority rule. I will try to be uploading this VOD to YouTube later down the line. I already have some streams going live on YouTube. I think one went live Friday? For me, today is Monday. I should have one going live later today. I should have one going live, I want to say Wednesday. So yeah. I think I covered all that. So, without further ado, let's dive in. This is the event here that has been going on. Basically, snap photos of things within that. Staff wielding opponents. Fist mages. Hilichurl shamans. Alright. That's doable. Where to find them, though? I know I can find some here. You count. Where else would I find them? Try maybe over here. Out over there. What about over here? There is the Fatui guy that, has a staff as well. Let me get my main squad out.
Busted. Propagate. Over here. Blink. Amuse myself a little. Let's get it on. Scatter. The more, the merrier. Over here. You really know how to get me going. Look at me. Just once more.
Leaving so soon.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. No. Go is flame.
Scatter! No escape. You can't run from death.
Alright. Those guys are dead.
Propagate! Look alive! Wind, hear me!
Leaving so soon.
Ha!
Scatter!
Go is flame!
You can't run from death. You need a hurry
Busted!
up.
Game's up! Fun's over!
An unfortunate fault.
Easy enough of a kill. Now there should be a few more here, if I'm not mistaken. No? No more? On the other side of it? There you are. Other guys holding staves. Over here.
There you are, eavesdropper. Take it easy.
So I do know for a fact that Yolan's elemental sprint there is faster than the character's actual sprint. Damn, I just want a purple card. That too much to ask? Fuck.
Really?
Huh. The enemies holding staffs. Maybe the rogues? I don't think so.
Take it easy.
Got what I needed. My stick drift on my camera sucks because it keeps on flipping what level of the map I'm looking at. Boom. Bada boom. Moment I can do. Get up to 7 of them day. No, maybe not. Maybe it is just a max of 7. Might just be dumb. In that case, then, yeah, I just need 2 more purples. In terms of what my plan what my plan is for today, I'm thinking about doing the Ascension quest to raise my world level and allow my characters to reach level 90. Currently, I've been holding it off simply for the fact that once those bosses become harder, it's going to be a lot more time consuming to get the materials needed for all the characters. But once I've been saving up the Ascension requirements for my main crew, the Elon, Jean, I ignored Fischl. Chi-Chi, I just need more crystals. D-Luke is ready to go. Kaya, same thing, crystals. Amber, it needs a lot more crystals. I need to bring up to 70, then 80, then that. Kaya needs to be 80. Fischl needs to be 80. And then I have a bunch more characters to bring up. Sorry if I sound stuffy or shitty. I am slightly stuffed up. Yeah. For this one, you need to defeat all of the training dummies basically at once. I find AoE attacks to be the best, and Diaz is pretty spot on for it.
So that's how to do it. I'm impressed.
Her AoE can affect the entire area where the things can spawn in, so I find it to be the best one possible. Let's see. One is this actually.
Quietly now.
Germinate! Propagate!
dead meat!
Scatter!
Bada bing, bada boom. If you probably couldn't tell already, I think Dia is probably one of the best characters to play as. Her abilities are really, really good. For combating against a cryo elemental enemy, I tend to do Dia and Diluc, and I can just use those two to kill it easily.
Propagate!
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
If you are new to Genshin, the best advice I can give you is learn how to use elemental reactions. They are what make your combat experience so much easier. For example, I prefer, this is Aether, whether you picked Aether or Lumine, the female variant, I find that Dendro seems to be the best element for him, at least on my squad, because his regular element attack has a pretty good range, and his special ability is an AoE Dendro application. You can mix his AoE, his special with a water reaction to expand its range, and it will not burn if it's hit with fire. However, combine that with Dia's fire attack. Her elemental skill hers is another AoE. So you can apply constant burning to everybody around you. I prefer Jean, because she can heal my team. Her abilities are pretty much just adding swirl. Jean is great for small opponents by water sources. Because if you don't know, when you launch an enemy into a deep enough puddle of water, they will just die. Just right then and there, they will just broke. The other person I keep on my squad on general is Yelan, because, like I said, Hydro combined with Aether's special is pretty decent. It allows it to go up in range. On top of that, her Hydro application in general is pretty good. Her special allows any attack, whether she's on the field or not, to provide Hydro application, which, when you're doing something like Dia's special, or I don't know if her special actually triggers for it, but anyways, her attack, it'll apply Hydro while you're also doing Pyro, which causes the Vaporize elemental mix, which does pretty good damage. Yeah. Complete this one. Aw, I hate these ones.
Right. Yeah.
Scatter! Yeah! Yeah!
Let's get it on! Hi!
Propagate!
Take it easy.
Scatter! Propagate!
Here comes the catch. Take it easy. Look alive!
I really just missed that. There we go. I hate those ones. They're not even that difficult to do. They're just annoying to deal with.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Quest. There it is. Oh. Isn't that nice? This one ends in 2 days. All I need is 2 purples. I can get the rest of the rewards. Now, if I had to take a guess, the next land we're gonna see is probably either gonna be up here, which, yeah, I'd probably have to say if it's gonna be anywhere, it's gonna be there. If they're gonna put Snezhnaya anywhere, I'm probably gonna say they're gonna put it right here in the middle. Right here in this strip. Simply because the Fatui seem to be getting everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It would make sense if they were placed centrally located. The other place I could see them putting them is right down here, because, spoiler alert, in Sumeru's storyline, the doctor, when he left to go back to Snezhnaya, left out of this port. And, well, there's a giant water source here. Same thing with when Child left to go back to Snezhnaya. They left out of this in Leeway. They left out of that port and went this way. So my guess is either Snezhnaya is going to be placed somewhere over here, or it's going to be placed here in this strip. Either way, that's my guess. Either way, the reason for my guess that one of them is going to be placed right here is you have some more waterways here. But you have this harbor. And with Fontaine, you have no other harbors. And this is a land that has a raised ocean that you can swim in. So this border is their border. But you don't have any other points of entry other than these harbors. Which makes me think that this is where the next update's going to be located. Think what to do. Now, if I do this, my world level goes up. Forcibly. I could already set it to the one that it's going to put it, that I can set it down to once I get up there. Where I'm at right now, I could be at world level 5. I choose to have it at world level 4. So if I bring it up, I'll be forced to have my lowest possible be world level 5. So... you know what? Why not?
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take.
I should be
one more day
stacked
off
enough to
and knock out the rest of the
be
work
able to
once
deal
I'm
with
feeling
it.
up to it.
It'll be a slight bit of a pain. but sure, it'll be fine. By the way, thank you to everybody who's currently watching the stream. It's much appreciated. I would like to remind everybody who has joined, since I last said it, I plan to upload this to YouTube later. So if you feel like you miss anything, you can go check it out there. And it is recommending cryo. I don't know if I want to do. I'll stick with Aether. It may come to bite me in the ass later, but so if you are new to my streams or my content in general, you'll find out very quickly that I am somebody who likes to collect everything.
Gutsy. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy. Gloves off!
Let's propagate!
I swear by my sword! Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Look alive!
Scatter! Terminate! Propagate!
No! Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha. You asked for it. Buckle up! Hi! Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
You're open!
Wind, hear me. So is one! Let's get it on! Ha! Cha! Ha! Ha! Ta! Ha!
Prepare yourself!
Gloves off! Buckle up! Hi!
Damn. This is a lot more difficult than I thought. What artifacts do I have for Jean?
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Scatter!
Let's get it on! Go as one! Game's up. Fun's over. Busted. I swear by my sword. Buckle up. You're dead meat.
Propagate! Spring forth!
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Go as one! Let's get it on! Quietly now. Barbados, guide us.
Pay your dues.
You asked for it. Game's up. Fun's over. Busted.
Scatter!
Go as one.
Damn, I really need to... Alright. I can go get some of those.
Quietly now. Look alive! Here comes the catch. Busted. Wind, hear me. You're dead meat! Buckle up! Game's up. Fun's over. Take it easy.
Eliminate!
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Pay your dues.
You're open!
Barbados,
You're open.
guide us. Look alive!
Propagate!
Gloves off! Game's up. It's over.
Here!
Let's get it on!
Sa! Yeah! Yeah!
Can't run from
Boom! Let's go! Alright. Ascend. 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 Oh boy, I didn't save up enough.
Yeah! Yeah!
You asked for it. Go and run! Gotcha. Chop.
Yeah! I'll keep this close.
Ad Astra Abyss.
I don't know how long I've been muted for. Oh boy. Um... maybe my game is having an issue? There we go. Nice. Pretty decent. Back is really good. Holy shit, nearly 40,000 HP. Time to gather a lot more resources. Especially surrounding some of the ones I do not have. Like these ones. Praxis, that's what I need. Filling up weapons is going to be important. And talents. I have no idea who uses these. But I have a lot of them. Alright, so with that out of the way, and the fact that we are an hour into the stream, I say let's get some quests done.
What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine?
Are you
No, I'm not.
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gray. What's going on? Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city. Probably
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's...
Your dad? How does a fully grown man...
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes.
So...
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Rite, so I thought, why don't I take Dad to leave? When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I...
You came to the right place. We're pro... Junction can help. She has a good sense... Hey! Who's talking about me?
Sheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy.
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baiju?
Uncle...
Sheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition? As much as you can recall.
Yes, Dr. Baiju.
I see. And your family lives near Chingsa Village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Rite. She always tells me to just stay at home.
Is that Ayu? By any chance, is your mother's name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is. Do you know my mom, Dr.
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that...
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is...
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates. See if...
Huh. So, I believe I forgot to mention it before, but I will try to be as quiet as possible during the cutscenes. If I go through the cutscenes or the dialogue too quickly for you, this VOD should be posted on YouTube later. So if you feel like you missed anything or you want to go back and rewatch it, you can check it out there.
We searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Bot?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search.
Oh, thank goodness. We were just... As for updates... I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find...
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad.
That's okay. Thank you for...
Yep, I'm grabbing these. They're used for Chi-Chi's upgrade.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Look! There's somebody over there! Oh no! It's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further! Watch where you're going! Oh, dear customer. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you... Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu-Tao! My, who do we have here? It's, my worst nightmare. I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Hu, for saving...
Dad, are you okay? Do you Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Qingsa Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. Remember?
Oh, my name is Jia Liang. Liyue Harbor. See the doctor?
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo... Sorry, Hu-Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next... Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy? Huh? Why not? What's the... Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot... Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away? But you're planning... Use what? What are you talking...
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
Oh, yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens... I'm sorry.
God?
There's no need to worry, Director Hu. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who is right? Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him.
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baiju, just what are you planning?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Boo Boo Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today. Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise...
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Pharmacy at once. Blockages within the cardiovascular system. I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baiju, how bad is it? Can you...
Don't you worry. Baiju's a really great doctor. He's sure...
Ayu, do you know when your father first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and loose.
Thank you, Dr. Baiju. Thank you so much.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who, please feel free to hang around.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus when treating a patient.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss. See you tomorrow, Baiju and Chung Chung.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baiju?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now.
You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baiju. Yeah, you must be curious too, right? While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docks do it. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with it? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me. Guilty as charged. Oh, and also, how come you and Baiju could tell so quickly that Jia Liang had god remains in his system? Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify God's remains when we see them. Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so... Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baiju's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baiju's master? According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go practice medicine instead. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never...
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest?
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me, but even that says to me that he definitely has. One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll...
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baizhu himself. It's a new day.
Dad!
Oh, are you?
Dad, you remember?
Yes, I remember now. Oh, are you? I'm so...
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baizhu's gonna help too.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li...
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try...
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Who, do you have any further reservations?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. But how did you accomplish this in a...
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to... Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wangsheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu,
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse...
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking... But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody?
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just...
What did I just say about Traveler, Paimon? Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system. Baizhu,
Can you please explain all of it?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh.
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text.
Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Hutel was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your...
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize the traveler. Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own. Baiju, don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all
Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of...
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after. As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out.
Whoa.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past, if you ask me.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us...
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same map. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I...
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided...
Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost...
Quarrel? What happened?
I don't know. I did not witness the...
Nor did master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her...
Oh, so...
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him.
Paimon never knew you were so...
So a few...
What the... Okay, that was the most...
Let's leave the idle chatter there. Let's split up.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
What is this?
Chung and I found a hidden compartment.
You sense it too?
Is it breathing? Paimon's not.
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is... Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait. So, back...
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person... Hey, why is it...
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment.
You mean... Jialiang?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives...
Huh? So you're saying... Wait, but... That doesn't make any sense either!
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiangli does not strike me as the kind of person...
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother load. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jia Liang's system without the need for any... Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about...
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her... These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory.
Whoa. What? After a contract?
Hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach.
Stronger and healthier? Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a...
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! Ugh, Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly now!
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my...
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand.
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go their whole life... What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, Traveler.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honor.
You called?
Ah! Ugh, gets Paimon every time.
all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected. Huh? Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. Huh?
You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Chinxa village. A vile monster known as the Ch once wrought havoc over this land. Before it was subdued by Rex Lapis, the land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Chinxa, the seal is still mostly intact. If the Ch is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens... I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips.
Master!
Gui? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly...
Already? Based on past experience, he should...
It seems that my worst fear... Everyone, back to Boo Boo...
Oh boy. I probably should have just teleported to that one. Not a spiral disc. Surprised I've never seen that one before. Surprised I saw it from that height. Damn.
Dad, what?
Don't be scared, Dr. Baiju.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baiju, you're back!
When Gui left, he was still
Gui, please take Jiaoliang to the back room and...
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu.
Baiju's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jiaoliang?
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting?
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be...
Oh, really?
No, the Adventurers Guild had...
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jiaoliang.
Though, on the bright side, This means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since... Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's...
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least...
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baiju! Tangsha!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life...
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he...
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. And as a result, his life force depleted at a greater...
What? You mean, even...
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to... Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang...
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible.
Well, I think that it's... In any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back. Her regular exposure to god remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am...
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
Ah! It's Jiali...
Dr. Baiju, you've already done so much for my family. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own sake.
No! Before I forget everything.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real...
I never expected... There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well.
Dr. Baiju? Are you heading out?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen, and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet.
Doctor? Dr. Baishu? Do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn...
Okay.
Alright, now time to teleport all the way back.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something...
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Jialiang, can you sense which direction the...
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
Yeah, this is it.
There is an
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay?
No, I have to keep going. Then let's hurry.
There we go. Recommends Geo, but nah.
The digging marks here appear amateur. Interesting.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without...
I remember now. She said that the method would cause me to... curses. Why can't I remember what she said?
Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going. A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see you now.
Mind the side effects.
Scatter!
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see you.
Taking a turn for the better. Mind the side effects.
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiang Li. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiang Li to give me the poison. I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me.
Please forgive me if I'm being quiet. I am eating while I'm playing, so that is why I'm gonna be quiet. I figured you guys wouldn't want to hear all the crunching.
I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Mind the side effects. Seems like an emergency.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was stealing.
Taking a turn for the better. Mind the side effects.
The doctor was stealing. You're dead meat! Let's get it on!
Seems like an emergency.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was stealing.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
Here comes the catch. Germinate! Propagate!
Wind, hear me. The doctor will see you now.
Mind the side effects. This is nothing. Remember, health comes first.
The doctor will see you.
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her...
Then what are we waiting for?
It's not as simple as that. The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricable. If the source is purged, the poison in his system...
Oh no.
Indeed. If the god remains here...
I wondered when the stain...
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jia Liang's life! After all that... Baiju, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang Li...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But
what would be the point of that? Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware of the dangers of God remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiang Li have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already If my choice can bring Jiang Li back, then...
Jia Liang...
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've... Traveler, Dr. Baiju, could I have another minute with my wife?
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry.
Jia Liang... Baiju, Changsheng... Is that really...
I am sure that over the years, Jiang Li will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiang Li would not have had to
What a crazy situation! Jiang Li risked it all to save Jia Liang's life, and now Jia Liang has to sacrifice.
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fit? At least, that's what generation...
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took... I've said my goodbyes.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become...
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you.
Mom!
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live... Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang! 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 Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely, whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a...
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jia Liang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiang Li.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jia Liang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone?
Well, if you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Jiangli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
What up, Diva? Welcome to the chat. And yeah, if you want to take a nap, go ahead. You probably should, you need sleep. I should be on for a decent part of the day. I know I'm going to be a little busy later.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us. Are all disciples of Genshin Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that... Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Genshin Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey! Food's ready! Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even Dad'll be able to taste them.
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Qiqi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown...
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore?
Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Genshin Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors. and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojin. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world filled with pain and suffering.
So, Baihu, does that mean...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison poison? And what makes a disease a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition...
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us... For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward...
For once?
Dr. Baiju, Traveler! What are you still chatting about? The food...
We also have coconut. Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten.
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is...
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely...
Well, no, that was a decent turn of events. Now the question becomes, which quest next? Is this one? It's been a decent minute since the last time I said it, so, as always, the chat can change which direction I go at any point, just put it in chat. This VOD will be uploaded to YouTube later, so if you feel like you missed anything and you want to go back and rewatch it, or...
We once thought the Fortress of Meripede would be super scary, but looking back on it, it really wasn't that bad at all.
Back to what I was saying. If you feel like you missed anything, or I go through the dialogue too quickly, you want to go rewatch something, the VOD should be posted on YouTube later. I will be staying as quiet as possible during the cutscenes. So, with that, please enjoy.
You've got a set schedule, guaranteed food and board, and you can even buy all kinds of stuff with credit. Oh, you mean Risley? He's deaf. Well, he does look kind of intimidating. He's actually pretty easy to talk to once you've had a conversation. Paimon wonders how he's like with the people here. Do they also get the same guy we do, or is he a lot harsher with the bad guys? Yeah, he must be doing something right to maintain order here, while not making...
Excuse me, did I hear someone there?
Huh?
Excuse me, is someone passing by?
Nope, Paimon wasn't dreaming. There's someone over there for sure. But...
did you hear my call? Thank you so...
You're inside the box? Why are you hiding in here anyway? If we hadn't happened to...
It's a bit complicated. Can we not talk about that for now?
Whoa, that's terrible.
No, it was nothing quite that serious. I'd just like some help.
Just your hat? Huh. Wait, Paimon gets it! Something must have happened to your hair! Sorry. So you just need your hat, right?
I think you may have misunderstood me, but... never mind. Please, it's a soft and brown hat with a bit of... I think I probably lost it near the entrance elevator. It was getting a bit hot, so I took it off and had a quick... It's really important to me, so...
Don't worry, we'll be... Paimon doesn't see anything here. Well, let's go somewhere else. Just where is that thing? Oh, this is taking longer than Paimon. Nothing in the water. Oh, we've looked everywhere and still not seen anything that looks like a hat. Huh. Why don't we check out the rag and bone shop? If memory serves, they got all kinds of stuff in there. Huh? How did you know what Paimon... Oh, this is bad. Nothing gets past... Well, either way, let's go... Paimon doesn't remember you being the boss.
Well, I'm just standing in for Mr. Alvar while he's off restocking the shop. Now, just wait a sec. A blonde foreigner dressed all... Oh, you must be the legendary traveler.
No. Well, you're half right. Paimon's the traveler's treasured companion, sure, but she's not some flying...
Sorry, I never thought I'd get the chance to see you with my own eyes. So, got a bit. I hope you'll find it in your magnanimous hearts to forgive my discourtesy.
There's no need to put yourself down like...
Why, your heroic actions at Aeneas have long made their way to the fort. We heard that you were personally received by His Grace when you made your way down here, you know. You're one of His Grace's favorite people, so of course, everyone wants to be introduced to you. Well, I figure you'd appreciate honest. After all, I also only joined up here because I'd heard Mr. Alvar was a good friend of the Duke. And though I've only caught scant sight of His Grace since then, as fate would have it, I've become fast friends with Mr. I mean, we've all got agendas, but rather than trying to force something to be true, it's...
Oh, so now you're trying to kiss up to us.
Well, I did mean it when I called you legends, and it is indeed an honor to meet the two of you. Oh, enough of that. Is there something you're looking for? No problem. Anything? Hey, feel free to check out anything you want. The credit coupon costs...
Wait, but that's...
Well, it's not like I'm getting paid to watch this shop. Instead of more coupons, Mr. Alvar usually lets me just take my pick. Life's been pretty good recently, so I'm...
All right. Paimon will take a look.
Are you sure you don't want more? These opportunities...
It's all right. Two will do. It just doesn't feel the same if the owner's off. But anyway, we don't need to get into that. Thank you so much. We'll be off then.
No problem, and thank you for your patronage. I'd appreciate it if you could put in a nice word for our establishment the next time you speak to...
That's a real sneaky way of getting good reviews. We've been gone a while. Paimon hopes that guy in the box hasn't passed out from lack of air.
How's everybody in the chat doing today?
You can come out now. We found your hat.
You did? Oh, Archon!
Wait, so you're not actually bald?
I mean, I told you that there had been a misunderstanding. Wait,
Well, we got you a new one. We tried really hard to look...
I see! Thank you!
Does it have some kind of sentiment?
Sorry, I can't explain at the moment. Time's tight as well, so...
If you're looking for a hat, I just picked one up over here.
Your Grace!
Oh, hey, Nicely! It's been...
Well, it's a slow day today, so I decided to go for a little stroll. Even if your workspace isn't cramped, I'll say I'm not at all surprised to find the two of you here. You never could turn down someone's request for help.
It's what good adventurers do, after all.
Is that so? Maybe I should consider asking the Adventurers Guild to open a branch here. As I recall, these hats are very important to members of the Beret Society. Best you avoid misplacing. You might not have the same luck next time.
Understood. Thank you so much, Your Grace. Then I'll be off. Bye.
What a strange guy. Why did he care so much about it? Oh, and has he done something wrong? When he saw you, it was as if he'd seen a ghost.
Oh, not at all. In fact, members of the Beret Society are model prisoners. They work hard and never get into trouble. They save me a lot of work, in fact. As for him, I'd guess he's just more of an introvert. It's not unusual for the more shy prisoners to freak out when I show up on an...
Huh? Shy? There are prisoners who are...
Prisoners are still people, after all. There are as many crimes and motives as there are stars. The idea of the criminal as a selfish, heartless brute is just a stereotype. Such labels could never capture the complexity of even a single... What kind of a person a prisoner may be and why they've committed a crime. We'd never know these things if they don't share their story with us.
Huh. You've got a point. Anyway, it's all good as long as it makes sense to you.
Although most of the societies here will just turn individual brawls into mass ones, the Beret Society does appear to be an exception, and it's instead trying to experiment with some novel... If you have some time, why don't we grab something at the Coupon Cafeteria? It'll give us time to... And if you're still interested in the Berets after that, I can take you to their usual gathering.
Paimon's not the biggest fan of that cafeteria.
All right then, please follow me.
Welcome, Your Grace, and the Traveler. Would you like 3 orders of today's welfare meal? Unfortunately, we weren't informed of your visit in advance, so we didn't prepare any super deluxe...
I'll pass on the food, then. What about you?
Then Paimon will also pass.
What a pity. It would seem that none of us can properly appreciate your...
Then, I must beg Your Grace to find me some more ingredients, so I can come up with... If you're not in the mood to eat, I can get you some drinks. We just got some great shipments.
Yes, please? Huh.
It's not for everyone. Think of it as a special treat for VIP.
Oh, now that's what Paimon likes to hear.
2 bottles coming right up.
Our first meeting took place on short notice, and we were both swamped by everything that happened after, so there was no time. I'm actually quite fond of stories, you know. Of course, the others have already told me a lot about your deeds in Fontaine, but...
Whoa. That'd be quite the long story.
Impressive. Not all who possess the courage to risk their life for their ideals also have the strength to make it out on... Had you not possessed these remarkable qualities, I probably wouldn't have had the chance to make your acquaintance in the first place.
Paimon gets the sense that you're trying... That guy we talked to earlier was obviously trying to get us to put in a good word for him, but you're the Duke.
Well, after all, you did help the fortress and I maintain our autonomy. Is it so strange that I would want to give a few words of praise out of genuine admiration? So this is a matter of trust. Which is unfortunate, since I don't have nearly as interesting of a story to offer about. I was convicted and sent here at an early age. I only became the top dog after spending a long time figuring out its inner workings. Power and control come in many forms, some fair and ethical, others less so. And since we're all sinners here, the victor calls the shots, no matter how they manage to get to the top. So, what do you think? Didn't put you much more at ease, now did it?
Kinda.
I'm perfectly aware of that too. But even so, that doesn't make me think any less of you. I would very much like to maintain friendly relations with you two.
Your Grace, after following your instructions, we were able to find a box of undeclared contraband in the latest shipment of cargo. They were extremely well hidden, and we've confirmed that the senders have been using this method to smuggle goods for a while. We're trying to trace—
Got it. Leave the box here and contact me immediately if you make any
Yes, Your Grace.
Sorry, I'd almost completely forgotten about this.
She mentioned something about contraband.
Not necessarily. The term is just applied to things people want to bring in on the sly. Many people here are experts at pulling rabbits out of the most ordinary hats. So we have to examine everything. Now, what do we have here? It's more...
Whoa, this is certainly a box of curiosities. Mora, snacks, yarn, balls, ropes, mechanical parts, and even a gem! Wait, if you've confiscated this entire box, then does that mean—
Yep. We can't just send them back up now, can we?
What? But that's just insane profit! Traveler, why don't you become a duke as well?
It's only been a couple minutes since we agreed to continue friendly relations with each other, and your jokes aside, I didn't know you'd be so interested in this box. How about this then? You can pick anything you want from it.
Really? You'll let Paimon pick anything? No takebacks. Paimon will have you know that she's got a real good eye for
I never joke about things like this.
Alright, Paimon's gonna have a look. Paimon wants this one. This. Actually, never mind. Paimon doesn't want this gem anymore. Can Paimon pick some? There's something weird about this gem. Paimon couldn't even tune them out. It's as if the gem was just drawing them out.
Is that so? Let me give it a try. Paimon's right. I too experienced some unpleasant flashbacks. Are you sure? I wouldn't exactly call it fun. Fair enough.
Are you okay, Traveler? You also saw something, right?
I'll take this gem then and run a thorough investigation on its properties. Paimon...
Actually, never mind. Paimon's gonna...
You do have a point. In that case, we should destroy the entire box, and seems like we're almost done with our drinks, too. Let's go check out the Society's gathering. I can introduce you, and we can also continue our...
Wait, are you this free?
Just noticed? I wasn't exactly busy the first time we met, either.
Well then.
We are honored by your visit, Your Grace. All of us at the Society have been waiting for your arrival. Are these your two guests?
Mm-hmm. Let me introduce you to them. Traveler, this is Dugier, the head of the Beret Society. Members can find all sorts of drinks and snacks here, as well as a large variety. Every once in a while, the Society will also host activities and seminars.
You flatter me, Your Grace. All we did was set up an organization in the same way as you would in the world above. It's so easy to feel lonely and helpless when you arrive here for the first time. I remember that feeling all too well. But that's when the thought came to me. If we could help everyone turn over a new leaf, thus, it was with your help that I found...
Oh, so you were also involved?
My part in this was minimal. All I did was follow procedure and rubber stamp. I'm sure you have a very good sense of what this place is about by now. As you know, not everyone takes their sentence seriously. For some, this is just another place where they can eat, breathe, and sleep. But the Society is a great place for those who...
Exactly right. Here, we keep an eye on each other and remind each other of our goals. Everyone can focus on rehabilitating our mental states, and our operations are entirely funded by members' donated goods and credit coupons. Same for the things you can see here.
Who knew you could find such a place in the Fortress of Merope? Oh, right, and what's the deal with the hats?
Ah, there's nothing deep about it. I just felt like we needed... If our members felt joy and pride from being a part of this group, then the hats would become a point of pride. And when we're together, we will feel a sense of community from seeing everyone's hats. Optimism, community, hard work, and a desire for a new life. I hope this hat will show everyone everything.
In other words, that hat has come to represent something like a model citizen, which also helps.
Once again, you are exactly right, Your Grace. That's a part of our goal as well. Let's take a little old seat over here. There's no need. I'll ask the members to get us some drinks. Please, wait here just one moment. Feel free to look around, too, if you want to learn more about us.
Oh, right. What happened to your...
Huh. Seems like I shouldn't underestimate an adventurer's keen sense of observation. I'll bear that in mind. Kidding, of course. We're just discussing some small... We've also already gone over the organization's vision. Instead of listening to me try to explain some more, maybe it'd be better if you took a look around.
Why does Paimon feel like he didn't answer the question at all? Yeah, they're supposed to be like the model prisoners, right?
Welcome to our gathering place. Is there anything...
Oh, it's okay. We're just taking a look around.
Well, that's not a bad comparison. It is my job to explain our amenities and benefits to... I'm sure Mr. Dugier has already explained some of it, but allow me to fill you... Besides this space, which our members use to rest and relax, we also have an entertainment room, a fitness room, and a self-study room. These rooms are open to all of our members. We want everyone to be able to use their free time to the fullest.
Wow, that's...
Unfortunately, we don't. We started a collaboration with the cafeteria a while back, though, so...
Yeah, Paimon can definitely see how it...
Yep, and that's exactly why Mr. Dugier founded the Society. We all think we made the correct...
Oh, hello. You are guests of the Duke, are you not? I'm organizing. We've got some classics, as well as a few books that yeah. Most of them are writing diaries, or some quit drinking. Some learned to tailor. Some became real good at calligraphy. And we find it kind of funny. You see, had we managed to stay above ground...
it's because you all have a lot more free time.
Not only that, but we've also now got the mental space to think about taking on new things. With how the Duke and Mr. Dugier have organized our lives down here, though, all we need to do is think about the things that we want to do. You never know what you may be good at until you... And while you're here, no matter what you do, you won't get judged for it. After all, there's no need to conform to societal expectations when you're already in jail.
So this is something like a safe space.
Yeah, that's exactly right. After all, not everyone is good at fighting, or have the physical strength to do hard labor. The Society is exactly what some of us... And that's it! I just finished organizing this shelf as well, so feel free to check it out if you want. Just remember to put the books back...
Don't worry, we will!
Hey, you there, newbie!
Hello?
Yep, I'm talking to you. Now, why don't you follow my lead and take a deep breath before letting... Ha! That's how I pump myself up every day. With one shout, you can release all the fatigue, resentment, and unpleasantness from your lungs, and return to the day with all the Why don't you also give it a try, huh? Feeling shy? That's alright. As long as... Just remember to take a deep breath, Let it all out if you find yourself at your wit.
Alright, we've talked to everybody. Sure, that would explain why Risley only had good... Huh. It looks like they're starting to wrap up their...
Of course, Your Grace. I will attend to those matters.
Okay, then I don't have anything else to add. Oh, you're back. What did you think about this place? Now, note that your opinion will also affect my review of Dugier and the Society.
Oh, wait, I didn't know they were also a part of the evaluation process. It's all right with me, though. I'm pretty confident about our growth.
Paimon thinks it's something anyone expected you to get a society going here of all places.
Yeah, you're right. By themselves, our resources.
The prisoners here all have very different personalities and psychological needs.
What up,
Our
War?
needs are like violent beasts.
Welcome to the stream.
If we can't face them properly, but if we can placate them, they lose their fangs, and they can even be converted into fuel for far nobler pursuits. Which is why, in my opinion, learning to reconcile with oneself is the first step on the path to...
You've hit the nail on the head, Your Grace. Before I founded the Society, I had met too many people who could not come to terms with themselves. And I'm sure that a part of your support is rooted in your desire to help those people find their way.
And Paimon thought everyone was
What do you
enjoying
mean?
life just fine, working and fighting.
You just
Of course,
said,
that lifestyle is more than
how
enough for
is
some
he
people in the fortress.
Genshin?
For others, though, they would just be...
What are you
useless
saying?
distractions.
Yes, I am streaming Genshin, but...
Speaking of fighting, I'm not sure if you knew this, but even His Grace sometimes fights in the ring.
What? You fight in the ring too? Wearing those high-tech boxing gloves of yours?
Oh, I almost never need them.
Hey, isn't that the guy who lost his head? What's wrong? Did you forget about us already?
Are you feeling all right? You are looking a little pale.
No, I'm fine. Thank you for helping me get my hat back.
Oh, Genshin's going great.
I'm sorry, but
I'm doing
I've
some
got-
quests right now.
He's still as weird as before.
Dugier, do you know what's up?
I'm also not too sure about that. As far as I recall, he's always been a little After all, it's my responsibility as the leader to make sure that no one...
We'll leave him to you then. Where were we before we got sidetracked? Oh, right, about that. You might have thought that I was joking, but in a place like that, everyone will use everything in there. And when emotions run high, things often spiral out of control. That would be when I need to pull out my gloves to maintain. Sometimes you might need more than just gloves as well. This pair of handcuffs has also come in handy quite a number of times. Oops.
Oh, isn't that awful gem? You're still carrying it with you?
Yeah, I kept it on me because of its special qualities. It won't affect me as long as I don't let it come into contact.
Go on, you guys. Pick up the item for His Grace, would you?
Yes, right away.
That gem shines with quite the dazzling light. I hope it hasn't been damaged. Your Grace, please let me...
It still looks good to me. Say, Dugier.
Never, Your Grace. Don't think I've ever been rich enough to afford this kind of...
I guess that's fair. We've already gone over most of the things that I wanted to talk about, so let's wrap up for the day. The Traveler also has some other plans, after all.
Got it, Your Grace. Take care, everyone. I'll take you to the exit. Traveler, Paimon, it was an honor. I'm sure everyone would love it if you were to visit again.
And same to you.
Paimon doesn't think we made any plans.
Well, what's your opinion of the society now that you've taken...
Paimon thinks it's pretty chill. Paimon doesn't remember exactly what you said, but wasn't it something along the lines of... There's only one potential problem. If the society does too good a job managing and rehabilitating...
That is. But at this point in time, they're still reducing my workload by managing and rehabilitating. I wanted to see just how much they've managed to accomplish. I arranged for a meeting out of curiosity, but then I noticed some faint hints.
Dissonance?
I'm sure the Traveler has sensed it too. As expected, you also picked up on it. The whole truth is a bit complicated, so I'll explain everything to you later. I can tell you right now, though, that this was an I had hoped to take care of it in secret, but now a confrontation may no longer be avoidable. Why don't you take this opportunity to check back on the gathering place? Just tell them you left something of your... If my hypothesis is correct, Dugier should... And with his watchful eye removed, you may well get a very
can you...
I'm just following the most popular playbook in Fontaine. Investigate, obtain evidence, and then use the truth to... It's been so long since I got to watch a performance at Opera Epiclese that I've even begun to miss it. I'll explain everything to you later, but right now we need to find out what you can from them now while they're all in one...
It's just as Risley... You said you felt there was something off about... Paimon will do her best to help.
Wait, you got...
We're really sorry.
Oh, okay.
Nobody? It's okay. There's no need to be nervous. It's not like we'll just look for it ourselves if...
I'll go find Mr. Dugier.
No need. We're just looking for something. Why did... We can look around. Hey, hello?
Hello? How can I help you? The Beret Society offers a variety of resources.
You don't know...
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just...
Are you still organizing the bookshelves?
Yeah, and... I'm sorry.
We weren't thinking about that to begin with, but... What?
Sorry.
Hey!
What do you want?
Isn't this how you greet...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sure are. I ate something earlier, so I'm falling into a bit of a food coma, and, you're looking for something, you said?
Okay, Paimon sees what you meant now. Seems like they really don't want to talk to us, so let's just head back.
Oh, you're back. How are things at their headquarters?
And yeah, War. Genshin's going great. So, stick around for the stream.
It was as if they had all turned into completely different people.
The dissonance I mentioned earlier was precisely that fleeting moment of fear behind the cheerful facade.
Right. He was acting super scared, too, when we saw him at the... Actually, hasn't he just been acting super paranoid?
And that's precisely why I took...
Oh, so the one who started it... It was you all along?
It's because I wanted to figure out what's... I don't believe any of Dugier's talk about unstable mental states. Not too long. Dugier made very elaborate preparations for my visit.
Okay, but aren't you the Duke? You can do whatever you want.
Well, maybe you're actually a better fit for the position than I am. Just give me the word and I'll hand you the cuffs. In all seriousness, however, cuffs and the like should be used sparingly. They're mostly for show. Everything I do is on display. The way people see me act determines the kind of world I can create down. And I've always striven to appear fair and reasonable to the people.
That sounds a bit deep. Paimon's not sure she got all of it.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I have to lead by example if I want to maintain expectations of justice and order. And that's why even though Dugier had already let a few things slip, I didn't want to turn on him without irrefutable...
Alright, so you're saying Dugier Dujie has figured out some way to control. And even though the members are acting all optimistic and motivated.
Indeed. He certainly seems to be using some coercive methods to turn his members into the most upbeat and motivated group of people you've ever seen. That won't turn out. I have some faith, though, that some of the members understood the hint I gave during our visit. The line has been set, and it's quite likely that...
Fish?
Let's give them some time. My guards will need it to finish there. You can find me in my office when the time comes.
Hey! Don't just leave before you've explained. It's finally evening. Risley's probably wrapped up his investigation. Paimon has no idea what that guy's thinking. Let's just go find him and ask him what he's really up to.
Oh, here you are. Did you manage to land a
Let's just get straight to the point.
Patience, Paimon. Even as the situation continues to brew, we still need to make sense of what we learned so far and go over any sticking points. I'm actually still thinking about the first thing that came to my mind when I noticed something amiss. Namely, why didn't anyone come to me about it?
Oh, that's a good point. Could whatever they're afraid of be so powerful that even you won't be able to...
But even if such a thing existed, how could they be so sure without checking with me first? It'd be one thing if it was just one or two people, but it seems like everyone's... Which leads me to believe that it's more likely that they think I just wouldn't care to help them. Yes, something like that. Dujie must have told them something to make them think I won't take, so it became imperative for me to refute that and prove my true stance. Of course, I had originally planned to do this in a more covert way, but I had to improvise when you identified the guy who'd lost his hat with everyone present. There was no way to keep our investigation a secret after that.
That makes sense. Wait.
The last thing that guy wanted was for Dujie to find out that he'd lost it. He would have never brought the matter up on his own. But now, not only has Dujie found out that he'd lost his hat, he's also realized that we were the ones that likely set his internal alarms off all at once. Yes, that's the conclusion I came to as well. It's the only thing that could explain the fear. If we didn't act right then and there, Dujie would probably come up with some other way to hide the truth and we'd be back to... So after giving the matter some thought, I tossed that black... I must say, I was pretty...
Ah, so you did that...
Yes, that's right. Of course, that box was discovered as part of our investigation of the Society from the very beginning. I had no way to know if any of the members had actually seen the gem before, but since I had to do something, I decided to... Right. And I said back there that I had no idea what the gem represented. That should have been enough to let people know that it's still early days for my investigation. And since I was traveling with you, heroes who have never turned a blind eye to evil, they would also understand that we're here to help, rather than to tolerate or uphold the status quo.
You used us as a part of your plan too?
My apologies. There was no time and quite a lot to explain, so I figured it might be easier to... But I can assure you that I've now told you Of course, you're under no obligation, but I would really appreciate it if you could continue to lend me your... Would you be willing to lend me your support?
But Paimon's still mad at you!
You have my thanks. Now, there are still two outstanding matters in our investigation. The first, I've examined one before. There was nothing suspicious. The other is the true purpose of the Black Gem. We haven't been able to get anything out of anyone without... It's my hope that a brave fish will take my bait and venture outside of their dark and murky pool. I'll put some music on while we wait.
Your Grace. But may I come in? I'm afraid that someone's been following.
Please, do.
I apologize for my lack of composure. These two are the guests that came with you to our gathering. Yes, my lover Fasol told me all about you. Please, help us, Your Grace. He's in great...
Slow down, take a deep breath, and start from the top.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I will try.
You mean when we saw him?
Yes, he fled immediately. But many members are... Thankfully, he still managed to meet up with me and explain everything. Now that he's lost Dugier's trust, what awaits him is agonizing censure.
Censure?
Censure is Dugier's method of establishing control, as well as the thing we all... Rather than listening to me explain what it is, Your Grace, please... Every secret may be found within...
Here you are. I was wondering. Please excuse us, Your Grace. It was never our intention to disturb you like this. You see, Avisa's mental state has been rather... She rambles often, has hallucinations. It may be best.
I don't recall hearing a knock or giving permission.
Oh, my apologies. I merely did not wish for Your Grace to be alarmed. Had I not been so focused on recovering her, I would have followed all the rules of etiquette to the...
Like we believe you.
Please, there's no need to be upset. It's only natural to want to side with the poor sick girl, but I know his...
Well then, what if the reasonable man wants to hear the lunatic?
That would be perfectly fine with me. Oh, and just so you know, we've also found the missing Mr. Fasal. I had no idea why he was so upset about. Thankfully, he has already returned to his senses. We've brought him back to our place, so there's no...
I'm sorry, Your Grace.
This is what you're afraid of, correct? You can tell me everything.
I've never seen that thing in my life.
Your Grace, I don't think there's anything else she would like to...
It's all right, Avise. As long as you tell me what it is that, no matter what it is, it will no longer be able to hurt you.
Your Grace! Forget it. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I really don't have anything more to say.
But what?
In that case, Avise and I will be off. Once again, please...
Miss Avise, please show me your head. There's nothing there.
Your Grace, I know you have long tired of my words, but the Society has never caused trouble for you or any of the guards at the fortress. We've spent... Why are you doing everything in your power to prove our guilt? What's wrong with the... I'll do anything for you, as long as you give me the word. Why are you so intent?
Your words bore me. You know the consequences if I find you to be...
Everything that I do for the Fortress of Meripede. But Your Grace is welcome to visit us any time to confirm the truth. All right, Avise.
Just what's up with... We should have shown...
Sooner or later, all will pay the price for their... he must have been well prepared for this exact scenario, or he wouldn't have dared to be so openly hostile. All the more reason for us. The entire society are his hostages. His subordinates would definitely react if he were taken, and that's why he dared to bare his fangs right in front of me. The true secret of the society is neither on the hat nor on the member's head. Dugier probably knew this from the very beginning, which is why he didn't panic. However, if we were to look at the rules, it would also seem like the head has to be the place where they're keeping all of their...
Yeah, none of this makes sense to Paimon.
The hats are definitely being used to hide a secret. But from the way Dugier acted, he must have known from the beginning. From the way Dugier... But if there's nothing on her head, why did Avise... I can't seem to make a...
have an idea, but...
Huh? What is it? Tell Paimon about it!
You mean this thing? So, she handed a key piece of evidence over to us without Dugier noticing. That would mean that Avise didn't stay silent out of fear. Let me take a look. I managed to remove this from the hair clip. It's long, slender, and conical. It's hollow. Let's see.
Hey, what are you doing? Wait. Some kind of duck. And some of it has been absorbed by this thorny-looking thing.
You've probably heard before that water is filled with the strongest emotions. With that in mind, this liquid is probably a highly concentrated solution.
Oh, so that's why even touching it will make you remember unpleasant things.
Dugier would be able to censure others. I can only imagine how it would feel to have this directly injected into your brain. The moment it hits you would be like being flooded with all the terrors you've ever experienced. Agony, desolation, and an overwhelming sense of despair.
So, was
That might not even be all. Let's go get them right. We can't let Dugier escape with all of the...
Your Grace, we have taken the Society members into custody. They all tried to flee just a little while ago, as if they had received... We decided to forestall their plan, and we're just about to send the word when you...
Great work, everyone.
You had prepared for something like this,
I had them stay here to keep an eye on things. Perform a thorough search of the Society's headquarters and bring all the...
Understood, Your Grace.
Now, let's check on them. As expected, they all have a hollow thorn inserted into a wound on their head.
Ooh, Paimon's glad her eyesight isn't so good that she can see it from here. Paimon's gonna float away from...
They probably left it there as a lasting reminder of Dugier's censure. These people must have had to endure an unimaginable... Let's go check out the other areas, too.
Completely different, though. And the names of the authors also don't match up. Yeah!
Look at what I found. This is a surveillance port. With this, Dugier would be able to remotely monitor everything that's happening. So even if Dugier's not there in person, he'll still always have eyes on the members. Indeed. It's easy to become lost and confused when you're given no instructions, and if any action you take may be deemed a mistake. And perhaps it's better to do less. Or Dugier has already tamed them to his will.
Your Grace! Your Grace!
What's the matter?
We couldn't find any Society members in the other areas. It also seems like none of the equipment in those rooms were ever used. All the signs of wear and the lime scale, the layers of dust. They were all... We also investigated the members' residences and weren't able to find anything. Their neighbors all say that they have...
Oh.
They're gone? That could only mean...
Indeed. As long as he allowed Society members to mingle with others, even with threats of censure, Dugier knew that he couldn't stop all of his members. Meanwhile, this marvelous gathering place will lose all of its value as soon as a whistleblower sounds the alarm. So instead of being his real base, this is just an elaborate performance. The rest areas, the fancy equipment, even the members that we saw. They were merely part of the front, and only the most docile and well-trained members were selected as his performance.
But then, where...
Let me think. Dugier must be holding all the rest of his members in another place. And if the overseer of my fortress guard has never alerted me to anything of the sort, he must be in Dugier's pocket. I'm of the same mind.
Did that person flee here?
That's the most likely scenario to me. He's probably already caught wind of Dugier's declaration. Let's keep heading down. We should be on the right track. Let's go. We can take this.
I'll keep this close.
Look! There's a fallen guard over there! I might see some society members too!
After them!
It's rising! Run!
Did Dugier send you? Why did you...
Come on! It's time to talk...
I will take your cooperation into consideration when it comes time to
Mr. Dugier, he didn't want this guy to expose... We were just about to dispose of him when you...
So, in other words, your headquarters should be this...
Yes, it's just down this way.
Guards, take them away. Let's go. It's about time that we find out what Dugier's really after.
Let's go.
There's so much space down here!
Yeah, these are all former work areas. They've been left abandoned due to a lack of funds. There are usually guards on patrol here. Stay sharp. He's got...
Damn. His attack is fast.
Let's begin.
Alright, so it's just... Okay.
Away now. Let's begin. Have a safe trip. now.
You asked for it. I swear by my sword.
Hey, are you okay?
You're safe now.
Who knew that there'd be Gardamex here? Dugier really...
And that would explain the strange decommission requests I received, as well as account for all the Gardamex that had mysteriously gone. Seems like he's prepared for an all-out...
Hey, what's this?
Seems like some kind of handbook. Ah, this should be the Society's real rules book. It lists all the rules. Members are not permitted to speak to each other or to lead. 5 members shall form a group, and the whole group will be punished for any single member's wrongdoing. Anyone who reports a fellow member's misbehavior shall be rewarded with food and water. I see.
But that's just cruel.
To obtain food and water, prisoners are forced to snitch on others, and in the process cause pain to those around them. To avoid punishment, they learn to stop talking with one another. This leaves the wounds they've already received to fester, however, and so resentment builds until every prisoner, finally, isolated and without hope, they accept their fate as Dugier's slaves. Do you remember what happened to Paimon? She rejected all the snacks in the box once she was spooked by that black... She's usually all for tasty snacks, but she chose to go against her instincts.
Ugh, is that the best example you could come up with?
No, your decision was valid. However, it's also valid to interpret that as a decision that you only made under emotional... The human heart is like a raft in a vast and empty ocean. We convince ourselves that we're in control, but in truth, a single wave could sweep us off course and send us crashing into the path of a storm. Those who use fear to lead others astray must pay for that crime. If I'm not mistaken, the space ahead should be the central area of this place. But the door's been locked. Rather than confront Dugier, I think it's more important right now for us to rescue as many society... You guys should wait here. We'll try to open the door and check out some other spots.
Open the door. Would we have to... Forget it, pirates! Whoa! It's turning! Is it because we touched this thing? Look, the other side's open! Let's go.
Let's see. Oh, people.
A moment, please. This could get a little chilly. Don't run away now. Time to improvise.
You're dead meat! Let's get it on!
A moment, please.
He loses health really quickly. But he's a fast attacker. I would probably pair him with Yelan's special.
Oh, it's so high! We're not gonna have to climb all the way up, are we?
Activate the mechanism in front of it.
Looks like there's a mechanism that's gotten stuck. It won't turn alongside the others. Is there something we can do? Ooh, the water level's gone way up. So that's how we'll make it to the top.
Although this aura around Risley here makes me think that they are purposely giving him an attack boost to make his attack look a little better than it actually is.
Let's begin.
Game's up.
Let's test it out, actually. Constant breathing. Yeah, I'd say this is pretty good. It only lasts for a little while, but it's not a bad strat.
These should be the prison cells. Lots of empty cells in here.
Let's still rescue the ones who... Hey,
No, I won't try to leave anymore. Don't get close to me.
No, we're not gonna do that.
We won't be able to get through to her right now. I'd also guess there are many others here who are more or less like her. Let's...
The door's open. Huh. Maybe it's His Grace. I'll go take a look.
I leave this area to you.
Understood.
Just focus on the tasks you've been given. I already have relied. Let's go back. That mechanism from the first room. Maybe we'll also need to hold it in place using the same device to open the door that leads. Don't forget to bring these along.
I must confess to being furious. To think that there are still some of you who find it permissible. Remember their names. Fasal and today you will see with your own eyes what'll happen to those who betray our cause. Go on, Avis. Pierce his skull with the thorn in your hands, and then push in the aqueduct. Of course, you will do it one drop at a time. Let it do its magic again and again, and don't stop until you've pushed all.
That's all.
Oh, shut your wretched mouths! When did I give you permission? My rules are the paramount law of this place. Only more pain will come to those who dare to disobey.
That's enough, Dugier. Your rabid screams have been beyond nauseating.
Is that...
Oh, Risley. I knew you would. Must you still refuse to let me be? Did I not spell everything out for you already? What's so blasphemous about sharing a slice of the cake with me when you've already got the entire...
It would seem that you can't see the difference between sharing and looting. And on top of that, look at your people. Are they not starving as you wolf down your...
You. Stop acting all high and mighty like some hero of... Have you forgotten? Nobody in this blasted fortress is innocent. We are all irredeemable monsters who have destroyed something that others... What's so wrong about punishing those who deserve to be punished? It's what... And please, are you really gonna tell me that you care about their lives and well-being when you just need a supply of labor to keep this place running? Is it that? Oh...
Sadly, you're wrong on both counts. Unlike you, I've never seen them as currency. The fortress is not only a place for confinement, but also a place for rebirth. Just as people are free to give in to the darkness within their hearts, they are also free to seek redemption and a new beginning. Our bodies have limits, but our spirits will always remain. They may have made mistakes, but they are still human beings with people and things that they cherish. And most importantly, they should always retain the freedom to choose their own path once they've reflected. But you're destroying their spirits with fear, taking their freedom away so that they'll become slaves who will never again feel. And you say that's what they've always deserved?
He's really mad.
You think me arrogant, Risley. Well, I think you're too young and naive. You understand. Nobody actually sees this fortress as any kind of just a wonderful place. See it for what it is. A dumping ground of pain and misery, irredeemable now and no prisoner will listen to you out of gratitude of their hearts. The whip is the only way to make them obey. Had you been just one step slower, I would have already taken control of all the garden mechs in this place. Your vision gives you strength. But how long will it hold against these powerful constructs?
You talk big, but in the end, you know nothing outside of power and control. In that case...
Stay cool and face your guilt.
Quietly now. Barbados, guide us. Busted.
If you think fear can control everything, well then, terrify me.
Don't high road me. You're just another crook. And it's time you got treated like one.
What's the matter? Too scared to shoot straight?
I'm warning you. Unauthorized punishment and torture are prohibited here. As the Duke, you should set an example.
Funny how that slipped my mind. Well, from this point on, you can forget about that rule. The rules of the fortress are there to keep the likes of you in check. But if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification. Understood.
Well then.
Sorry for taking so long. Did I keep you waiting?
No, not at all. Paimon didn't know you.
If you ask me, I'd say I actually feel very helpless. There's no way that I could truly empathize with the fear that the members felt every day. I could comfort and compensate them all I want, but it might still not be enough to repair the damage that has been done. I have to take responsibility for it, as does the fortress. Yeah.
So, do you...
Oh, Dugier? For now, I think I'll do nothing.
Huh?
I think it's a very fitting punishment for him to have to imagine the sorts of punishments that will soon become... He'll be left in the dark with regards to both the dates and the details of his... Of course, that's not to say that I'll be letting him off scot-free. It's not often that I actually get the chance to be creative. I'm going to talk to the members of the society. He'll get a chance to experience everything that he's ever inflicted on them.
Paimon didn't know you could also be so harsh. Looks like she should watch her tongue when she's around you in the...
Why do you think I'd do that kind of thing to you? Anyway, jokes aside, thank you so much for all of your help. There's still a lot for me to take care of. How about this? I'll treat you to a meal in 2 days at the Coupon Cafeteria. We should...
no,
Don't worry, it won't be the same old welfare meal.
Oh, then you've got...
Let's see. A little longer.
Ah, you're here.
Paimon never forgets about meals, even if the traveler forgets. That's not what Paimon meant at all. Risley, you got what Paimon meant, right?
I'm a little confused, actually.
Hey, not you!
Jokes aside, I've got some good news. After taking a look, the doctors have let me know that it shouldn't be too difficult to extract, which means that everyone should be able to recover after a period. As for their mental recoveries, most are making good progress as well. We've added a few who were more severely affected to a special observation list.
You sure got everything taken care of, Risley.
I try my best. After all, it's my duty to take care of everything that happens within my territory. Please, go ahead. Ah, that's a bit of a long story. I once had a similar experience. It had to do with the host family I lived with as a child. I was an orphan, adopted by a couple with a great deal of love in their hearts. I had many siblings, and we all adored each other. Once we were older, Mom and Dad would turn us over to be individually adopted by families of greater means, and go on to adopt more. They were perfect parents. Or so I thought.
And then?
And then, I found out we were merely raised as livestock. Once we had reached a certain age, all children that were sold would leave the house, and nobody would know what became of them. As for those who didn't sell, they were merely disposed of. Did you know I once considered myself an extremely lucky child? And all of my friends, all of my siblings, they all felt. I was also not the first to find out about the truth. All those who found out before me were simply added. I could never shake the feeling of irony every time I juxtaposed their tragic ends against our parents' adoring smile. Yes. Like the society, my parents created a facade of joy, lied to satiate their desires, and even employed incredibly cruel methods. They did all of that, but never considered how their actions would utterly ruin all the children they took under their wing. Worse, perhaps they never cared about that at all. But I did. So in the end, I killed them and set all of the remaining children free. I was convicted for my crimes and exiled to the fort. My methods were extreme, yes, but I was still a teenager at the time. I'd been betrayed by those I trusted most, and I didn't think that more moderate ways would solve. My doubt and helpless anger pushed me forward until I got what I deserved. It's all right. You don't have to tell me what you think. I've already committed to this path, regardless of what anyone may say about it. The least I can do is to make sure that the same tragedy will not happen again.
Sorry to disturb you, everyone.
Oh, it's a vis facade. Are you two feeling?
It was all because you arrived in time. I managed.
We came here on impulse today, because we were hoping that you'd be able to lend us a hand, Your Grace.
Please, go on right ahead. I'll do my...
It's... I'd like to be...
You're getting married?
Yeah, we met each other through the society, but even during our time there, we never doubted each other. We always believed that Dugier, and after this incident, we've come to believe...
But we're still both prisoners, and we also aren't sure, so we are just wondering.
You're right in that the fortress has never hosted, but that's no reason to say no, is it? I'll help you make the arrangements. If you need anything special shipped in from the surface, just...
We can't. We are actually also planning to stay here after the conclusion.
Yeah, we've already made tons of special memories here, and we have full confidence in the fortress's future with you at...
Your trust is the highest form of praise.
Hey, loosen up a bit. Shouldn't you be the happiest man in Teyvat to hear that people would like to stay?
Yeah. I'll always take a genuine expression of faith.
Huh. is her... I haven't set that one up yet. I wonder, which domains give me the millisets? At this point, I think I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all to who have tuned in. This VOD should be posted to YouTube at some point in the future. I will be streaming again at some point in the future as well. Maybe again today. I'm not entirely sure of my schedule yet. Thank you again to all who tuned in. Please share the stream if you like the content, and that's about everything I can think of, so peace out.